If you've been anywhere near gaming news lately, you've probably heard about the legal drama unfolding between Nintendo and Pocketpair, the creators of Palworld. What started as a viral indie success has now turned into one of the most talked about legal disputes in gaming. So what's going on here? Is this just a case of massive corporation trying to shut down a smaller competitor? Or does Nintendo have a legitimate reason to take action? And what does this mean for Palworld moving forward? Let's break it all down and take a closer look at how we got here. To start, we need to rewind to January 2024, when Palworld launched in early access. Nobody really knew what to expect. Was it just another survival game? A Pokémon knockoff? Some weird meme game with guns? Well, it didn't take long for the gaming community to find out. Within days, Palworld exploded in popularity. People were fascinated by the unique mix of creature collecting, survival mechanics, and combat. Not to mention the fact that you could give adorable creatures machine guns. And then came the inevitable comparisons to Pokémon. Social media was flooded with side-by-side images of Palworld's pals and Nintendo's beloved Pokémon, sparking heated debates. Some players laughed it off, calling it Pokémon with guns, while others outright accused Pocketpair of plagiarism. But here's where things get interesting. Copyright laws don't protect general creature designs, only specific artistic works. That means unless Nintendo could prove that Palworld's creatures were direct copies, they didn't have much legal ground to stand on. And at first, it seemed like they weren't going to take action at all. But Nintendo is, well, Nintendo, and as Palworld's player base kept growing, the gaming giant decided to make its move. Even before any lawsuits were filed, Nintendo started laying the groundwork for legal action. In May 2024, just a few months after Palworld's launch, Nintendo filed 23 patent claims with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO. But it's important to note that patents are regional, meaning these applications, if approved, would only apply within the US. Unlike copyrights, which can be recognized internationally through agreements between countries, patents must be applied for and approved separately in each region where a company wants protection. So, Nintendo wasn't enforcing existing rights here. They were trying to secure new ones in the US, specifically targeting key gameplay mechanics. Here's what Nintendo was trying to patent: the use of throwable devices to capture creatures, how a thrown object determines whether it initiates combat or captures a creature, and summoning creatures into battle. Now why does this matter? Because if these patents were granted, Nintendo could claim legal rights over mechanics that Palworld and other creature collecting games rely on. This would make it easier for them to take legal actions in the US and potentially block competitors from using similar features. At the time, nothing had been decided just yet. The gaming world was left wondering, was this just Nintendo being overly protective, or were they getting ready for a full-scale legal battle? Well, just a few months later we got our answer. On September 19th, 2024, Nintendo and the Pokémon Company officially filed lawsuit against Pocketpair in Tokyo's district court. Unlike the situation in the US, where Nintendo was still trying to secure new patents, this lawsuit is based on patents that were already granted in Japan. Again, since patents are regional, this lawsuit is limited to Japan, meaning it won't immediately affect Palworld outside the country. However, a legal victory in Japan could give Nintendo momentum to take legal action elsewhere, or influence the game's future in indirect ways, like deterring potential investors or licensing partners. So what exactly is Nintendo claiming in Japan? According to the lawsuit, Palworld allegedly infringes on patents related to using a throwable capture device to capture creatures, the mechanics behind determining whether a thrown object initiates combat or captures a creature, and allowing players to ride creatures in-game. Nintendo isn't just seeking damages, though they are demanding around $66,000. The bigger issue is their request for a legal injunction, which, if granted, would halt Palworld's distribution in Japan entirely. That's a big deal. Japan is a massive market for gaming, and if Palworld were to get banned there, it would significantly impact Pocketpair's operations, partnerships, and future expansion plans. Pocketpair quickly responded, stating they were unaware of the specific patents Nintendo was referring to, and that they were disappointed by the lawsuit. Palworld's CEO has since spoken out, saying that while he respects Nintendo, he firmly believes that Palworld is legally distinct and does not violate their intellectual property. But whether that argument will hold up in court remains to be seen. Now back to the US, where Nintendo filed 23 patents in an attempt to legally protect key gameplay mechanics. Well, on December 4th, 2024, the USPTO rejected 22 of the 23 of Nintendo's patent claims, stating they were too broad or lacked innovation. In an interesting twist, the approval of one of the successful patents came with a condition. Nintendo had to accept that the other 22 were rejected. That means that, for now, those patents were officially off the table. However, this isn't as big a loss as it might sound. In fact, this is a normal part of the patent process. Big companies like Nintendo often file broad patent applications on purpose to see what the USPTO will approve and what they'll push back on. Think of it like casting a wide net. They apply for more than they actually expect to get, and then refine their claims based on feedback. So while this rejection weakens Nintendo's immediate legal position, it doesn't mean they're giving up. Nintendo still has a few options moving forward. They could refine and resubmit the rejected claims with more specific wording and a new application, adjusting their approach to improve their chances of approval. If they believe the USPTO made a mistake, they could appeal to the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, PTAB, and argue that their rejected patents should be reconsidered. And if they really want to push the issue further, they could even take the case to the US Court of Appeals, challenging the USPTO's decision in a legal battle. For now, Nintendo has accepted the rejection of the 22 patents, but knowing their history of aggressively defending their intellectual properties, this likely isn't the last we'll hear about it. Now, rather than waiting to see what happens, Pocketpair has already taken a major step that could help weaken Nintendo's case. Previously, throwing a PAL sphere in Palworld summoned the captured PAL at the thrown location, similar to Pokemon's Pokeballs. But, in an update on November 29, 2024, Pocketpair changed this mechanic. Now, when summoned, PALs appear directly beside the player, eliminating the throwing animation entirely. Why does this matter? Because one of Nintendo's biggest claims is that Palworld copies Pokemon's capture and summoning mechanics. By removing the throwing mechanic, Pocketpair might be reducing the similarities and strengthening their legal defense. And if Nintendo's lawsuits were meant to slow Palworld down, it doesn't seem to be working. In fact, the game has only grown bigger than ever. Throughout 2024, Pocketpair expanded Palworld beyond just being a viral game. In July, they partnered with Sony Music Entertainment Japan and Aniplex to establish Palworld Entertainment Inc., a company focused on licensing and merchandising. By October, they announced a partnership with Krafton, the PUBG developers, to bring Palworld to mobile in 2025. Then, in December, the Faebreak update introduced a massive new island with new pals and weapons, bringing fresh content to millions of players. And, by February 2025, Palworld had officially surpassed 32 million players across multiple platforms, including Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. Nintendo may have expected Palworld to be a passing trend, but at this point, it's clear the game isn't just surviving, it's thriving. So what do you think of it all? Should Nintendo keep fighting, or is it time to move on? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching.